Hi and welcome to this here tutorial, or not tutorial, tips and tricks with XCOM 2 by me, Fettouhi. A couple of people have been asking me actually what is the right build order and stuff like that, what I've been experiencing so far. There are plenty of videos out there in Total Biscuit's review. He actually goes into this here detail. He's he's completed the game and has 100 hours in it. I only have around 16, 17 hours in it so far. A couple of things that I want to show you is actually the build order. There's really not the same thing as in XCOM. You can pretty much place it where you want. There are some things like the workshop is pretty much essential. The workshop actually has the whole thing with that it actually provides gremlins. These gremlins here are pretty much the drones that you see, for instance. I can actually show you where is the blah 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 armor engineering.
New orders, Commander.
That one is a gremlin, and they can actually do engineering tests. You can see I actually have Mary Brown here staffing 2 gremlins, and you can provide more with upgrading it. So instead of using like workshop gremlin, instead of using engineers, you can use gremlins with things that are beside it. So that's pretty much the great thing. So I can up here have 2 engineers used for that instead of using gremlins, but that's because it's beside. So that's pretty much the only thing. Make sure you actually can use the gremlins instead. One other thing is you can see some places where you actually dig in exposed power coil. These power coils would be beneficial to actually use for power relays. They will give you more power than the normal ones. Other than that, it's pretty meh. You can pretty much build wherever you want, and it's not a deal breaker. You will definitely be able to finish it however you order it, but the workshop is a good place to actually have it, and I would actually prefer that. For instance, this here is maybe not the best, but I maybe should have built the resistance comp down here and the power relay down here, because they use more engineers than actually these here. This here uses 1, and then I can put in a squad member. I know up here is only a squad member, so that's pretty much it. They should probably have been in the other areas because it's more beneficial to have it like that. But I still have this here space left, and these here I still haven't actually excavated yet. So that's one of the things. Another thing is I actually hate navigating around this here space, and you can actually see it's pretty big. So what I actually want to do is actually this one here. Actually, if you hover over it, you can actually just hit a hotkey to go instantly into your map. So if you're, for instance, like say in your armory, your soldiers, you just hit 1, or just hit there, and it will go automatically to this here. So just a little shortcut there. That's also a little tip. Use those if you don't want to actually click around like a maniac here. Okay, a couple other things here I want to show you. View the soldiers. If you view the soldiers, you can see I have some people that are actually, well, wounded, lightly wounded and stuff like that, but I also have people shaken. Shaken is something new that's been added to XCOM 2 compared to XCOM 1. I think it might have been in the mod, the Long War. It's something they added to this here. I don't know. I've never actually used the mod. I actually didn't know that the XCOM 1 had mods. I actually first found out there was a modding community when I actually started viewing a little bit of XCOM 2, where it actually said they were going to support the modding community. But Shaken. Shaken means that your will is pretty much 0. He or she is a pussy mentally. That means that if they get hit or anything in a fight, they will panic, and yeah, it's pretty horrible. But if you put them in and they actually perform well, they will actually go from shaken to actually perform normally and actually get a boost. So, my recommendation for this here is a tip. If you have a shaken guy, they sometimes are not put in your squad, and that's because they are seen from the game's point of view, at least. If you have healthier people, it would prefer them when you're doing a squad, and if you have a lot of people that are actually wounded, use your shaking and take your shaking with you, especially on missions you see can actually be easy compared to actually what you're going to do. So take, for instance, a couple of really high-end guys, and then actually go ahead and take a shaking with them, and get that shaking off them. Let them kill a couple of mobs if you can coordinate like that. That will get them out and actually be more useful in your squad. Also, for people that don't know, you can, with Guerrilla Tactics School, you can actually take new recruits and actually train them to how you want. You can also, as you can see, I don't have any rookies right now, but you can also go ahead. This here is actually the best place is actually you upgrade your squad. So if you're in the early game, I recommend at least getting this here pretty fast, so you can actually can expand your squad to the maximum size of 6, I think it is. So that's also a little thing. And this here, like I said, if you have rookies, you can take them in. It takes around 5 days, and it will actually you can actually choose what you want. For instance, if you want a ranger, you want a grenadier, and stuff like that. The Advanced War Center is where you can, this is here, you can retrain veteran people into something else. So if you're not satisfied with one, or you maybe lost someone, and you want to retrain another one, you can do it here. Also, this here is really good because healing rate is 100%. So this one here is really, really essential. Also, when you can build it. It's all about when you can build it. Research order. Well, there's really no research order, at least not what I've seen so far. In my opinion, the best way is actually think what you need compared to actually what you actually see on your map. As you can see, I started in the Middle East instead of in the US. So yeah, it's random where you start. So one thing is really important also that I found out is the black market. The black market is awesome, and that is because
Commander will need to completely scan this region before we can establish contact
let
with
me
the
scan
local
this
resistance.
here.
I'd advise we stick around and finish the job, but the choice is yours.
Where are we? I have a mission. Let's skip it because
I've made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
yeah.
The aliens aren't going to be.
Just gonna skip this. And let's go there. Okay. Let's go to the black market. The black market is awesome, and that is because you can buy boosts, and you can buy that pretty early on. You just need to unlock the black market. And here it is. So a lot of people actually go with engineers and stuff like that, but actually here's the real deal. Rush Search Power Armor. If you have this here going and you know you can rush it, this here will half the remaining research time. The same with Sonic, and the same as you can see right now what I have. Okay. I actually have on my HQ healing faster, so if I go ahead over here and start scanning, my guys will heal faster, and the same thing will happen for different buffs. You can actually go ahead and buy this here. This here can actually be crucial to you because you will just have get access to stuff pretty fast. Sonus and power armor. Power armor is really important, and let me show you why. Because
Commander, the lab is currently idle. We're wasting valuable time and resources by not conducting any research.
Please consider providing us with a directive as soon
And
as
let's see the
possible.
loadout here. As you can see, with power armor, I have a predator armor. I get a slot more. If you build exoskeletons, which is on him, you can see he can have even more. Wrong button. Loadout. You can see actually he has a lot more. He actually has a heavy weapon. So there are some things here, and this is actually where things started to get really, really great. So you can actually like carry a lot more stuff, utility items. You can carry mimic bombs. You can carry static vests and all that, or stasis vests. All this here improves that you can carry more, and that means you can still have your grenade or whatever you have with it. For instance, I have a lot of medics with me. That means that my loadout here, for instance, I still have a grenade. This here I could change out to actually have also a mimic bomb or the skulljack, which is actually one of the things here. So getting some of the things here is actually really, really important. Actually, the most important that I thought of is armor and weapons. Your primary weapons in the start really don't do a lot of damage, and the enemies actually start pretty early, giving a lot giving a lot of damage, and actually can instantly kill you, even on veteran commander and stuff and on higher difficulty levels are a lot harder. So with excuse me, with that, things change. So I definitely recommend that you check this out. I will go into detail actually on how to actually use the concealment correctly now. Okay, let's load this sucker up. And this here is a little bit of gameplay that I just did. So this is on a mission, and there are a couple of guys over there that pretty hard to fight. And there's another mob later on, but at that point I've broken concealment, and it will actually just work as it did in XCOM 1. So XCOM 2 has this here concealment, so we can actually move around like we want. There's pretty much no restrictions, only if we get spotted. So these here guys are static, they don't move around. This is pretty much the basic enemies. You will have people that patrol, so you need to be careful of when they get closer to you, they move around. You can actually follow the squad at some point and actually just really just follow them and get into better flanking positions. So right now I'm trying. I moved up my guys here. You can see I don't have a timer on this here this here mission, but the important thing is that you can see I'm trying to actually get some of my guys here. This here is a sniper. We don't want a sniper to get too close, because he will get damage. He will get better damage, but he will get a lot of. The sniper rifle is not meant for it to be in close range. So here's one of my rangers. A ranger needs to be close. He has a shotgun, really, and that's pretty much ideal to be in close range. So this here is my Daniel Kaiser, aka Mustang, because he runs fast, and you can see I'm trying to get him around pretty much. So the important thing is, when you actually do this here, is you need to make sure that when you have your guys in position, and I'm gonna be there in just a minute here. So okay, you can see here I'm giving them their turn. Nothing's gonna happen. This here blows up. Doesn't really matter. So now I'm getting ready. So now what I do is do Overwatch. I do Overwatch to all the people that I do not want to do anything but Overwatch. Then I spring the trap, and you will see in just a second how beautifully this here performs. I'm gonna do this here with my grenade launcher to make sure that all the cover that there is around, that could be around, is removed, and also the armor on those two people are getting shredded. So right now I'm gonna do that, and you will see how this here actually should work. This here is a really good example, because these here are, you can see I didn't really do a lot of damage, but I sprung the trap, gave a little bit of damage to everything else, and now every Overwatch should work. And this is here how it should do. You can see here, he's blown away. And now he's gonna be blown away. And now we have him. Booyah. He doesn't go down. The last guy is gonna take care of him with a shotgun, and there they are down. And that's pretty much how a nice ambush should work, and that's how you should try to use concealment. So do that from now on, and hopefully you will all be happy off.